Safety management for strata and commercial buildings. This is part 2 of the series. So we're looking at the requirements underneath the OH&S law to minimise your risk to the body corporate or your own building. Okay, so what we looked at earlier on was underneath the Workplace Health and Safety Act. So whoever's in control of the workplace is a responsible person. So we need to reduce that risk. First of all, we need to identify that risk. So then once that's been identified, you can take appropriate action. So we'll look at what sections we need to look at as part of the review of this process. So we'll go through one of the reports. So this is a sample report from, so this has got part commercial, part residential. So there's a few different components in this area from here. So let's look at some components that goes through this building. Okay. So this is just a small scope of an area that we've looked at. So we're looking at the vehicle area, external pathways, internal pathways, electrical, boundary fencing and balconies. So some of the things you might want to look at in your driveway area. Signage, so low vehicle signage that goes into basements and stuff like that. So you got cars can go into a basement that don't know, or four-wheel drives that got roof racks on can knock out your plumbing. Visibility, so you're looking for blind spots around the area so you can see around the corner so you don't run into anyone. Surface variation, so anything over 10 millimeters in height, you need to have a look at that before you need to either grind that down to an even level or highlight that. Surface conditions, so you're looking for contamination on pathways, maybe build up of moss or something like that. Access and egress, so the pathways are nicely trimmed so you can get in and out. You haven't got trees and that sticking out on your footpath so you can't get stabbed by a plant. So next section, external pathways, so we're looking at stairways, making sure that they're built to the building code. So when we're looking at our other one here, so stairways from here, so that would be a non-complying stairway. Path surface variations, path surface condition, access and egress again, so that's all pretty straightforward from there. Next section, if you're looking at internal pedestrian ways, now there's been an increase from the insurance companies recommending the slip testing of the tiles to work out if a treatment needs to be done. So this is where we're looking at stairways, stair railings, walkway surface variations, the condition of the walkways, if there are either repairs or applications that may need to be done to it, I suppose. Access and egress, so there's no blockages in the stairways like chairs and stuff, and bicycles are a good one that are stored in common area. We go into the electrical. Now we look at the community circuits to make sure that they're protected by a RCD, so residual control device, and then once they're installed, they've got to be tested once every 2 years. So if someone uses common property and cuts a power cord or does something, then the RCD will trip off and then the person won't get electrocuted. Boundary fencing, make sure that the boundary fencing is all in good working order, and also look at the thoroughfare, so people taking shortcuts through the property who shouldn't be there or authorised, so that's going to minimise some of the risk from there. Also when you're looking at the balconies, so falling objects, so we're looking at those pot plants, visual deterioration, so some of the wooden balconies might be having a bit of stripe in there. So then once you've picked what items that need to be done, you put together a action plan to rectify the risks to minimise that to your body corporate. So that should give you a bit of an idea how that goes.